Hey everybody, Wes here. I bought this dual fan kit from AC Infinity to keep my DAC, my EQ, and my headphone amp cool because they do tend to run around 90 degrees, even with the ambient temperature outside of about 55, 56 degrees. And then this is in my basement, so the basement usually stays about 68, 69, 67 degrees, somewhere around there. So here are the two fans, and I had them stacked on top of each other with the shelving unit. You can see right there, there's a shelving unit. I ended up after this changing my shelving unit, and you'll see that later in this video. But I have these two fans that's controlled by USB. You can see right there, one arrow pointing up means that's the way the air is going to flow, and then the arrow pointing to the left you saw was the direction of the fan blade, right? So that's pretty cool that that's on there. It has low, medium, and high, and it controls both fans low, medium, high with no voltage drop whatsoever. It does come with a female USB plug to where you can add on to that. And there it is right there in the back. You'll see me grab it right there. There's the female version USB, and it's controlling an older fan that I had that I used to have on my surround sound system. So this is only part one, so I'm going to show you the one for the surround sound system in part two. So there's my shelving unit. It worked, you know, but I do have a temperature sensor gauge that I use when I was a technician working on cars. So you can see this is everything turned off, about 70 degrees, right? That's the average. Now, after about 6 to 8 hours of usage, because I usually listen to music while I'm working because I work from home, you can see it's going to be an average about 90 degrees. That's kind of hot, and you want your equipment somewhere between 80 to 85 degrees, preferably 80 degrees. That'll, heat is a killer, and that will shorten the lifespan, especially something as expensive as the Bifrost. This is something that's upgradable. So now you're going to see me just turn it on low, these two fans, and it comes down about 1.5 degrees in about a minute. That's just on low, right? So let's turn it on high. Let's run it for about a minute and speed it up. There we go. Drops about half a second and 15 seconds on high, right? Now we're going to run it for about, 45 seconds to a minute, 7 total degrees. So it dropped down to 83 degrees from 90 degrees just in 7 seconds on high. Now, of course, this has the advantage because you can see there's vents right there on the top and there's vents on the side. So that's really pulling the air out. It's getting a really good um, airflow going. Now, the Bifrost doesn't have vents, but the Bifrost consistently stays 90 degrees, as you saw right there. So we're going to take that other fan, take the one fan from this one and move it over to the other one because I ended up buying three. I bought a dual unit and then a single unit. And there it is. There's my pre-temperature pre-test about 90 degrees. So we're going to let this run. After about a minute, it drops 2 degrees. That's pretty impressive with no vents. And you'll see me. I don't have one yet for that one, but I do have one coming in later in the video, a better option for that. And the reason why is because when you sit there, see, there's nothing over top of it, right? So the better option for under the shelf unit, here we go. So if we look at it, the one with no shelf over top, the air just goes up out into the atmosphere. So there's no restriction, so it's going to cool very effectively. Now with this one, it will cool, but not as effective because it's going to hit the top and then disperse to the side, and there's not a lot of room because it's restricting airflow. AC Infinity has you covered. They have this model right here. There it is, the MPB 140A. Now this one fan, where the fan's on the bottom, but it comes out to the side, right? And that's actually pretty cool. So there it is. There's the top portion of it. And now, I get the box out of the way. Sorry. This also has the female unit too that's controllable. Now there's one issue with this. I will talk about this a little bit later. There's the bottom. So the bottom sits right there over top of the vents for the Lokius, and it exits that way, right? So that is a lot more effective of keeping it cool. So there it is, um, on the Lokius. I'm going to turn. There it is on. Very quiet, extremely quiet for as close as I ain't sitting to that Lokius is right in front of me. I have it on low right now, but these fans are very very quiet. You rarely hear them, right? And so it's actually hooked to that female. Now here's the issue with this. In order to get that unit right there to work, it's on low. It doesn't matter if it's low, medium, or high. And I'll show you why here. So it's running right now. So I'm going to turn it off. Hopefully, turn it off, Wes. Somewhere, it's running. We'll just say it's running right now. So I'm going to turn it off. When I turn the main unit to low, because that goes to the two fans. So the center one right there is connected to those two fans. When I turn it on low, it shuts that off. So it doesn't have enough voltage to run that one. I don't know why. When I turn it to medium, watch what happens. You can see it's getting a little bit more voltage. So it wants to turn, but in order to get that thing to work, you have to turn it to high first, and then you can turn it to medium, and then you can control the center one right there, the side post one. So that I don't think that it's it's USB, right? So it's not a lot of power. So that's the only issue that I had with this thing. Other than that, it works great. But if you want to control them separate, then just go ahead and plug them in separate. That's all you got to do. But if you want to piggyback, remember, in order to get the one that you're piggybacking off of, you have to turn it on high, the main one, and then turn on the one you added to the female end, and then you can actually control that one with the low, medium, and high, right? But you could turn that with the two main ones on high, move it to medium, and then you can control the one that you piggybacked onto. So very, very cool. I love this thing. Within a few minutes, of using this on high, it's down to about 80 degrees. I love that. That's where you really want your AV equipment to run at, is about 80 degrees. It needs to be warm, yes, to work effectively, but you don't want it hot, because hot is eventually going to degrade products inside of it. I mean, that's what thermodynamics teaches us, right? Things wear down, they don't wear up, right? Thermodynamics is basically the study of heat and temperature and how it relates to work and energy. You're using energy, right? This is going to create heat. Your headphone amp, your EQ, your DAC is all going to create heat. You need to remove that heat to keep it running. The only thing that I know of that really likes heat and needs to be hot is a jet engine, right? Other than that, you need to remove the heat. Remove the heat, things last longer. So, love this product. Think it's awesome. Stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 is going to be for your receiver, for your surround sound. This is just for your listening station that you have. So if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in the comment section, and I'll do my best to respond in a timely manner. So thanks for watching.